All right, like an orange tornado, Donald Trump swept into the NATO summit. The expectation, total destruction. But hasn't anyone noticed a pattern? Not the media, who monitor Trump with an infant's temperament. It's always the end of the world. Yet, why do we always feel fine? Could it be because tremendous progress has been made?
Tremendous progress has been made. Everyone's agreed to substantially up their commitment. They're going to up it at levels that they've never thought of before.
Never. So after all the noise, everything's calm again, and it seems like all Trump did was ask the other guys to pay their fair share. Fair share. Remember when the media loved that?
It's only right that we ask everyone to pay their fair share.
It was important for us to make sure that millionaires and billionaires paid their fair share.
Making sure the wealthiest Americans begin to pay their fair share.
But ask that of your allies, our media bristles. How dare us rubes ask our more sophisticated allies to chip in on the bill, especially in public. It's like when the dinner bill comes, it's always that know-it-all at the table who darts to the restroom, leaving you to be the jerk to call him on it because he knows you won't. But he never expected that Trump would be at the table, who would do it to his face because, frankly, he's our jerk. Germany spends only 1.24% of its GDP on NATO, which was created to curb Soviet expansion. Meanwhile, Germany's pipelining with Putin. Talk about Soviet expansion. Since America's always left with the bill, maybe we can call Germany out for hiding in the John, doing dirty deals when the check drops. Now Trump wants defense spending at 4% GDP, twice what these countries already failed to meet. Why would he do that? Maybe to get them to meet the initial target? Could he be a stable genius?
I'm very consistent. I'm a very stable genius.
So after all the tantrums, can't the media admit that Trump had a point? Now Putin is next, which means everyone on CNN will don their chicken suits and scream at the sky, telling us it's the end of the world, but only as they know it. Jed, another apocalypse averted, it seems.
Oh, yes. Disaster. I don't understand the outrage over this. I really don't. I don't understand why, if there's a country that's an ally of ours that isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing, and we're all supposed to be helping each other out, and they're not pulling their weight in a certain area, I get you have to be a little bit cautious with the language that you use, maybe, and the way you approach it. You don't want to jeopardize those relationships. But he's the president of the United States. He is supposed to put America first. He is supposed to say, hey, guys, look, we're all supposed to be helping each other out, and if you're not giving the percentage that you're supposed to be giving toward this spending, and we are, you need to up it. That's his job. That's what he's supposed to do.
He's like the guy at the restaurant when the bill comes, he itemizes the bill. He's like, well, no, you had steak.
Exactly.
I only had an appetizer.
Exactly.
And I didn't drink. So, and that's funny though. But the media loved when Obama went on the apology tour, and they hate this. I mean, this is just he wants to strengthen NATO and make sure everybody has skin in the game. I don't see why they have a problem with it at all.
Let me ask one. Is this that stereotype realized where you have the snooty Europeans and the ugly American who comes over?
He talks about money.
And talks about money and jingles change in his pants. Yeah, you know what I mean?
No. Well, look, we have a stable genius.
Yes.
And the stable genius on our team goes over there, and the context is what's missing, I think, from Jesse's analysis, because 97-2 is what the Senate voted just this week to say we like NATO.
Right.
The American public is like 69%. NATO helps us in terms of international security. And guess what? We have here in a situation where the president comes out and says, oh, I have persuaded all these NATO allies now to up their spending. Emmanuel Macron comes out and says, no, we just said we would hold to our existing promise.
Which was
it's
trust the French.
bluster. It's just
the
bluster.
French.
You know what?
And they're lousy tippers, the French.
They are. All he's saying, he likes NATO. He just thinks he can get a better price for it.
Yo, Dana, isn't that the key? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. This is only my speculation, is that to get them to get to the 2%.
I mean, it's the art of the deal. Like,
the art
ask
of the
for
deal.
more, and you know you're going to compromise.
Yeah.
But I think what he is saying also is that if you think that you have a problem with Russia, and I agree with you.
Yes.
If he does, we'll see.
Right.
But, like, you have a problem, then you should put more towards your defense. The thing, though, that has bothered me about this, it's not like there's a big NATO pie. The percentages are but what you spend on your own defense for your country. So it's like, that's why they're a little bit different. Estonia's GDP, if you get 2% of Estonia's GDP, like really much, we just made that in an hour in the United States. So it's all like leading up to it. I think on the Putin thing, what's very interesting, and I would watch for it, is You had Netanyahu go to Putin the other day and say, I want you to make a deal with us, to let us deal with Syria and take you out of the picture and let us have Iran.
Isn't that pipeline thing a little squirrely, the whole thing? Schroeder's behind it, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yes,
so
I
they
mean,
have this pipeline, should have gone through Ukraine. Instead, it goes right through the sea, right to Russia, and it should have gone through Ukraine.
But part of the reason the Ukrainians didn't want it is they didn't want the Russians to have to get to put their pipeline through Ukraine.
You get transmission fees when it goes
Let me
through
just
Ukraine.
tell you, and also that deal was struck in 2000, way
Right.
before
I know.
all the trouble.
I
So
know.
you have a different context, Jesse.
I agree. They should buy it from us.
Exactly. Ukraine, I crane, we all crane.
By the way, do you really want Germany to have a strong military?
Oh, one.
Fair point.
Going deep.